Hey, welcome back to another video. We're still under section 1, core beliefs. And this question is, have I seen more businesses fail from lack of money or lack of clarity? These two actually work together. And what I mean is, you end up with a lack of money because of your lack of clarity. And clarity can come in many forms in your business, and missing any of those aspects is really going to cause you problems. Doesn't mean your business is going to fail, but if you don't address them, you're headed that way, right? So let me give you an example. Sometimes a business is doing really well, and then they start to suffer setbacks. Their ads don't work as well, their emails aren't getting open, people aren't buying. And when I go to them, I say, who is your ideal client? Who's your ideal client? And they'll say one of two things most of the time. Everybody, right? I can sell this to anybody. This is good for anybody, which is a severe lack of clarity, because if you're selling to everyone, you're selling to no one. So say everybody. Or the second thing they'll do is, give me a second and let me pull up my customer list. So they will create an ideal client or an avatar based off their current customers. The lack of clarity comes from not understanding who would buy their product or who their product is designed for, and instead relying on, this is my customer, I should find more of them. And what I have to explain to them is, this is your customer because your marketing attracted this type of person. And what we find out is, as time goes on, this type of person doesn't buy regularly or doesn't often purchase. You might have gotten like a bunch of them early on, but it's not a very big audience. Like you can, there's almost an audience for anything, but it's a matter of how big they are and how much disposable income do they have to spend on what you're offering them. And these vary greatly. A lot of times you can have a product do really well and have very few customers because you charge a massive amount of money, and there's, even though there's a smaller number of them, they're more likely to buy from you, right? Or you can go after a very large audience where most of them have money to be able to buy from you, and then you're just convincing them to go out. What you don't want is to go after large segments of audience who don't have any money. What ends up happening is you get a bunch of these people in, but then the rest don't have money. So you're sort of stuck and you don't know why nothing's working. So it's a lack of clarity and understanding who your avatar is. The other thing could be a lack of clarity of understanding why people want their product. So sometimes people make a product and they think they're selling it because it solves X, but the customer is buying it because it solves Y. So let me give you an example. A lot of times people will go into they'll go into the productivity market, right? They want to help business owners become more productive, and they will start the productivity offer with a bait of procrastination. So they throw out the bait and say, hey, are you procrastinating in your business? Get this thing to help with your procrastination. And they're trying to upsell them into productivity. And the goal there is, hey, these people aren't being productive. It might be because they're procrastinating, which is an angle you can go after. But my question would be, if you're going after people who are trying to improve productivity, they're most likely not procrastinating. What they're doing is they're trying to figure out how to get more work done or how to find more hours in a day. So instead of saying, hey, beat your procrastination, I would say something like, do you ever reach the end of the day and wish there was more time? Because you've been doing work all day, you've been getting a lot done, but you feel like there's still more and there's just not enough day for all the work you have to do. That's a productivity need offer. The procrastination might seem like a productivity need, but that's more of a mindset issue, right? It could be fear of failure, fear of success, any of those other issues. So I've worked with clients who are in the mindset space and the productivity space, and they both wanted to go after the procrastination market. And it was a matter of understanding why somebody would need your product and what are they trying to accomplish, right? One of them understood that and made changes and they did okay. And the other one didn't. He still kind of put out procrastination based offers for his productivity, and he couldn't quite get people to purchase from him. And it's simply because he was attracting people in that market, that's sort of the productivity market, but it was for a different reason that they were trying to be productive. They were trying to be productive to get over a mindset issue, which was their procrastination. They weren't trying to figure out how to optimize their productivity. So it's very crucial you understand why people would want your offer and what their problem actually is. Without understanding that, you might get money, but you're going to end up in a space where you don't get enough. And then you'll say, I didn't generate enough money, the business failed. When in reality, it was your lack of clarity, understanding. So those are different aspects of it. The other lack of clarity usually comes from lack of understanding how marketing works in general. So they could not understand how the numbers of marketing matter. And for example, I spoke to someone who thought they did really bad with their ads. They had spent so much money, they'd only gotten so many people in, and they just didn't feel like their ads were right. They were like, I got to work on this, but I don't know how to work on it. When I reviewed their ads with them, their ads were phenomenal. I was like, your stats are incredible. What you're saying in the ad works. What you're like, the messaging was all on point for the pain points and the reason why they should go. Her landing page was horrible, right? But because she had a lack of clarity on how marketing works, she just thought it wasn't working. She needed a new strategy altogether. And that can damage your business too. So there's a lot of little aspects of lack of clarity that can have an impact. And you kind of need to get a handle on all of them. Now, do you have to be 100% clear? Absolutely not. But you at least have to have an idea of what's going on and why, so you can probe further and do tests to find out for sure the reason what's going on. And once you're no longer in a space of lack of clarity, you know exactly why these people want an offer that you put in front of them, you know why they would buy from you, you put the right messaging up because you understand what it is they're looking for. You line those up and it's very easy to make sales because you've fully understood what's going on, why they need it, and what they respond to. And then you're just putting yourself in front of them. So that's easy. So in that sense, I would say most businesses fail more often because of lack of clarity, which leads to a lack of money. Anyway, hope you got something out of this. I'll see you guys in the next video.